My company is basically a sawmill company. We're a timber processing company. My basic responsibilities are to help landowner clients reach their objectives with what they're hoping to do with their property, whether it's income or management for wildlife or aesthetics or any combination of those and many others. The independence. I don't have a boss breathing down my neck every day. I set my own schedule. I set my own meetings. Everything I do, I control myself 99%. What everyone is starting to realize, a lot of people are starting to realize, is that to save the forest, the biggest pressure on private forest lands today is development. And as a sawmiller, forester, I see open forest as a source of raw material. The other side may see the forest as a beautiful place to save and preserve. Well, we both kind of have the same goal, is to keep forests as forests. And when mom and pop farmer are faced with an economic dilemma, they need some cash, and Joe developer knocks on the door and says, I can pay you $10,000 an acre for make you $1 million for your 100 acres of land. That's a hard offer to turn down, and I think everyone needs to realize that working forests is what's going to save the forest. So the sides butting heads, I think the sides need to come together a little more, and it's starting. Nature Conservancy is now working on managed forest lands in Vermont, New Hampshire, and all over the country. So it's happening. They cannot stand to be in the office for any more than an hour at a time. Can't stand still. You got to be moving. Weather doesn't seem to bother anybody that much. It could be. I don't like the heat, but it can be 20 below zero and I'll be out working. You're working with people on both ends. You're working with the landowner, and you're also working with the timber harvester who works 10 times harder than I ever will. And they get irate as well. You're not paying me enough, and things like that. And when you have enough of those pile up on top of each other, then it can become frustrating. The company just purchased a large tract just over the hill from where we are now that we are preparing to harvest. It was an old farm back mid-1800s. We've done a timber inventory and a management plan for it, and in the process of our inventories we found that the trees were between 100 and 150 years old, the older ones. There was a stand of over-mature hardwoods that with absolutely no understory, and it was a beautiful day. It was late October and all the trees had just turned, and it was just, I sat down and thought, this is my office, this is where I work every day. We do have bear and moose here. I haven't seen them. I've seen their sign. We see fishers on a regular basis, all different kinds of birds, plenty of white-tailed deer, wild turkeys. You need to be able to deal with people who may adamantly disagree with you, and you're not going to change their mind. You need to be able to deal with weather. Whether it's 105 or 15 below, you may need to be outside working. You need to be able to deal with phone calls any time between 5 in the morning and 10 at night. And you need to be able to deal with the fact that you are harvesting trees. And that's the bottom line of your job, pretty much.